rehash last week's game with TCU. Just overall pleased. I guess I'd start with defense. Just played an exceptional game the entire way through. To limit a ranked team there to no touchdowns into the fourth quarter. They give up one touchdown the entire day on a short field. I thought they just really played well. I thought our run defense was really good, outstanding for the most part. And then our pass coverage, I thought, was exceptionally good overall. When you have 19 of 41 attempts, 2 interceptions, I think we only had one pass that got 20 yards or more. Just was really solid all day in the way we covered, the way we tackled, the pressure we got on the quarterback. All of that was really solid. Players of the game that way were Brian Jackson once again and Lendy Holmes. Adrian Taylor as well had a really good day inside, and a bunch of other guys played well, but those guys really stood out. And then offensively, we made a lot of big plays. Manny Johnson, player of the week in the Big 12 on offense, had an exceptional day, over 200 yards on 5 receptions and 3 TDs. Just really had a great day in how he in how he played. He just made a lot of big plays. Joaquin Iglesias and Jermaine Gresham also had some big plays in there. Sam Bradford again was just great in how he threw the football, handled the pressure. The running backs and how we ran the ball, I thought overall you look at 25 total yards rushing, and a lot of that's due to sacks. When you look at the running backs and opportunities they had, we do want to be able to run it better regardless of how people want to line up against you. But still, we had a good number of yards that way running the football with our running backs, take away the sacks, which you don't take them away. But I'm just saying when you look at just running game and handing the football off, there were some yards there, though I still feel we need to continue to improve to be better. But give TCU credit. They really work hard in the run defense. They're really excellent in how they cancel gaps and how they play in there, and did a good job for a good part of the day. But it did set up some big opportunities for us throwing the football, and that's what we always say, that we want to be good at both, so that if someone's really trying to take one away, that we can capitalize and make plays the other way. And we did passing. And more than anything, we took care of the football once again. Really good job of taking care of the ball. So all in all, a good day. Some players of the game offensively were Manny Johnson and Sam Bradford, and again, thought they did well. So now it's starting Big 12 play, going to Baylor. I think Art Browse and his staff are really doing an excellent job. Robert Griffin, everyone's talked about their quarterback, really an exceptional athlete, great speed back there, and a big arm. And in Art, I just have great respect for how he coaches and the job that they do. So their team really looks different in how they play and compete, and are really doing a good job. So like always, going on the road in conference, you've got to be ready to play, and that's what our focus is on, is strictly just working hard in our practice and our preparation and being prepared to play.
How do you convince your team and convince them when you're a big favorite like this that anything can happen?
Well, I think it's an old story anymore when you look at through the years. In every league and every conference, you see upsets. If you're not prepared to play and you're not at your best, you can be beat. And it's happened to everybody. Not it's happened to us here. It's happened to everybody out there. So I think it's obvious to anyone anymore that you really have to be on top of your game if you're going to give yourself an opportunity to win.
Bob, is it more difficult to game plan nowadays in college football? Does it take more time with all the things you see on offense, all the things you have to do on defense?
Not necessarily. Those teams, when they were great, giving you different formations, running the triple option, and defending Coach Switzer's wishbone, and all of those weren't easy chores either. So it's just different styles. And then, and again, I think the more you see people wide open, the more comfortable you are at dealing with it and the different wrinkles you want to give to it. And your players become more familiar and comfortable playing against it. At least, I think overall, for the most part, we have felt that way.
Coach, I know you prepare for everything, as you say, but were you a little bit surprised, I use that term, that TCU just loaded the box so heavily?
No, that's their style. That's how they play. And when you look at enough tape like we have, again, to the way they defend, that's how they play it. And so, if you're not able to execute the passing game, it could be a long day for you.
Any thoughts of using more stars on your special teams on Twitcher when you kick it off?
Well, we are. We are using, most of them, guys that can run. So we're doing our best. And again, you look at that, there's, the one is out the gate, but the others, are all, for the most part, pretty good. And the first one was a really poor kick. So all of it goes together. But we're working it hard. I mean, we're working it every day, and I don't know how many times we've kicked off this year. It's quite a few, and we haven't had a lot of touchbacks, and we've had a lot of good covers as well. So.
Does it make it difficult to put starters out there when you have things that happened like last year with DeMarco Murray and his knee?
Well, I'm not putting him out there. I'll guarantee you that. But no, you've got to stop people. And hey, I go back to the years, 2002 and 2003. We had Mark Clayton used to catch a touchdown pass, and he'd be the guy making the tackle on the kickoff cover. And he wasn't a big physical guy, but he was nifty and found his way in there and could do it. So we're going to keep working on it.
The percentage of touchbacks was much higher last year with Garrett than what you have now. Is there any chance that anything you're working with Moreland on will help?
Kick it farther.
Is there anything you can do?
No, just technique. Matt's got a big leg, and I think, and I do see it more in practice than I've been able to see in games. So it's just continuing to work the technique. And to his defense, we were talking the other day, sometimes too, maybe the balls. You have a set of balls that are just game balls that we need to work with more, even in practice. That maybe, it's just like hitting a bad golf ball and you hit a good one. It reacts differently. So we'll see if that doesn't help them a little bit. But again, I look at other kickers around the country. I don't see there are not many that are putting it in the end zone very consistently.
You faced Art Browse before he brought his Houston team here. What do you remember about that encounter? Because I seem to remember just a lot of just out there stuff on offense.
Yeah, you'll see it again this week. Yeah, they spread the ball everywhere, all kind of formations, use personnel all different ways. So it's very similar to, if not identical, to what they were doing there.
Does it mean much to you being ranked number 1 in the country?
It just means it's a measure to this point what we've been able to do, and that's it. So in that part, I'm not going to sit here and act like it's a horrible thing, but we're not sitting here jumping up and down either. The bottom line is this is what we've done to this point in the year, and all that matters now is what we do this week. And so that's what our focus is on, is strictly concentrating on what we've been doing positive to this point, what we can do better, and let's make sure when we go out there Saturday we're a better team than we were last week, and that's what we're trying to do.
How do you get the players from Florida to Texas?
That's never been an issue here. It's simple because we got to go to Baylor. So, you guys may or may not be going. Fans may or not be going, but we're going. So we got to play. So I think you can look at our track record the weeks before that game and the weeks after that game in the last 10 years to answer your question. So we'll be focused on Baylor and Baylor alone.
Coach, you got a lot of players nicked up Saturday. Everybody back practicing and be playing Saturday also at Baylor?
Hopefully. We're still most everyone practiced yesterday. Brandon Braxton didn't, so we'll see how he goes through the week.
Coach, what is your take on some conferences releasing an injury report?
I'm not much for that. To me, I think it's fair if a guy, I'd be okay with it if a guy is definitely not going to play to say so. If a guy is going to play and detail what his injuries are and to the extent doesn't seem to me to be real fair to him. Right? Fair enough. He's got to go play. He's not under salary. He's a college kid trying to play for his university. And to put him and let everyone detail or to give him someone the opportunity to pick on him or know where he's injured doesn't seem to make sense to me. And the only necessary point to put it out there would be for gamblers. And I don't know that we ought to be partaking in that as a NCAA institution. Now, maybe professional sports, I can understand that, but I don't think we're the same.